And it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I've just gotten out of the tent. It's July. This is the outside temperature. This is camping in the mountains of Yellowstone. Bringing the joy. Good morning, everyone. Dr. Bill here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you've returned. Today I'm on a backcountry hike. I'm in Yellowstone National Park. I'm on a 10-mile backcountry hike up a fishing stream. You can see my fishing vest here. Up a fishing stream. And I'm hiking into a fishing stream that I'm very fond of. I've been hiking it for over 40 years. So I wanted to talk about today's video. I want to talk a little bit about joy, but before I do that, let me just give you a vista of where I am now. At this point, I'm about 4 miles up trail, and take a look at what I'm looking at. This is looking north, and what you're seeing here are the Gallatin Mountains, which basically form the western boundary of Yellowstone National Park in this area. This is just take your breath away beautiful. So many people have sent me DMs since I started the channel talking about what an inspiration I am doing these kinds of hiking exploits at the age of, in my mid-70s. But I have to say this, one of the things that brings me so much joy on this channel is reading your comments. Every person that leaves a comment I respond to, and I'm humbly thankful that the last 2 videos were very positively received. But again, that brings me to the point of this video. And I know it's a little bit atypical, but what I want to do is say, while many people have said to me that I'm an inspiration to them, I read those comments, and those comments are very much an inspiration to me. And frankly, I think they are an inspiration to other people who read the comments. So what I want to do in today's video that I'm calling Bring the Joy is hear the joy that you all have in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and even 80s of how you're staying fit, activities you're engaging in, hikes that you're taking, bike rides that you're taking, kayaking that you're doing. But just let's hear your story. Let's get your story out there and get it out there for everyone to enjoy. So please, take the time, leave a comment. I'll respond to everyone's comment. And once again, let's spread the joy. In particular, though, one of the things I want to say is I have gotten videos or gotten DMs from so many people who have overcome very significant physical hardships and are still out there pounding out the miles or pounding out the activities. So please tell your story too. And before I wrap up, yes, I know I'm in the backcountry of Yellowstone, and I know that I'm in bear country. In fact, I'm going to reissue a video I issued about a year ago. I know I'm in bear country, so I just want to say, before there are any comments, that yes, I carry bear spray with me. Yes, I carry bear spray with me. Yes, I have a 4.4 on my hip. And yes, I have a soccer whistle that is extremely loud. So yeah, I'm pretty well prepared for the possibility of running into a bear. If I see a bear, that's great. You know, my experience with bears is the best experience that I can have is when I see them, they see me, and everybody leaves safe and sound. I thought I would just add this little video in. I'm not 100 yards from my tent site, and look at this big boy who is just outside of my tent. How cool is this? And here, my friends, I'm about 200 yards in the opposite direction of that big bowl bison, and I've got a small group of wild elk here. For those of you who are not from North America, these look like deer, but they're almost twice as large, and they're very, very skittish. You can see a number of them are staring at me. Right now, from my vantage point, they're about 50 yards away. Well, I just got back from Yellowstone this morning, and before I close out the video, I wanted to relate a hiking in your 70s story that you might find amusing. I was fishing a river in Yellowstone, and in this particular river, you park at the top of the mountain, then have to descend down the mountain, probably about a half a mile to get to the river, and it's a pretty steep descent, and you know, a very steep ascent. And I had been fishing for about 3 hours, and it was pretty well done. And I noticed 4 men coming down uphill, or coming down upstream, upriver from me. So when they reached me, we stopped and talked for a few minutes, and we all agreed that fishing was decent, but not great, not really up to the par of this river, which is really pretty an exceptional fishery. And they were going back to their car, and they started to climb uphill. But there was a woman, if I recall, her name was Catherine, who was a fishing guide from West Yellowstone. And they told me that she was just uphill, upstream river a little ways. And I wanted to talk to her about a fish we had both been trying to catch near a pool that was lined with some rocks. And so I decided to walk upstream to see if I could reach her and tell her that I actually had finally caught the fish. And I walked probably upstream about 7.5 minutes, didn't see her in sight upriver. And so I decided to come back. So these guys had about a 15-minute head start on me going back up to the cars. Now again, in fairness to everybody, this is a really steep half-mile uphill. Certainly a steeper half-mile than anything in the rim-to-rim hike in the Grand Canyon. And these guys were from Montana, and they were in their mid to late 30s. And when I got back to the part of the trail where I had to start to climb up, I looked up and saw that they were about a third of the way above me. They had gotten about a 15-minute head start, and they're about a third of the way up the trail. So I started up the trail, and by the time I caught up with them, they had made it to the halfway point. And I made a joke to them, and I said, you know, I'm almost 75, and I have to tell you, every year this hike out gets harder and harder for me to do. And one of the hikers kind of took a little bit umbrage with me and made some sort of smart comment about being in your 80s. This whole group, again, they were in their mid-30s. And we started back up the trail together. And they walked up probably about another 200 yards, and they stopped to take a breather. And I didn't need to take a breather at that point. I was still in good shape. So I walked past them and walked up the hill and continued up the hill and walked to the top. When I got near the top, I had seen that they'd come up about another 400 yards and were taking another breather when I got back to my car. So when I got back to my car, I needed to take off my wet shoes and my wet socks and stow my fishing gear and break down my fishing gear and get a drink. And as I got a drink, I was sitting on the back of my car getting a drink. They came up. They probably finished about 15 minutes behind me, even with a 15-minute head start. And when I was sitting on the back of the car, one of the fishermen came up to me and said, "Did you say you were 75? And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Man, I want to be like you when I'm 75. And then smiled and walked away. I thought you might like that story. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I am very, very interested in reading your comments, as are, I'm sure, many of the other people who have been following the channel. And I'll see you on the trail.